Okay, we are live. Bismillah ar-Rahman. Okay, okay. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. So, my name is Muhammad Faisal. I'm one of the examiners over here at Nafi. Today, we have a student, Muhammad Mudassir Farooq. Thank you. Muhammad Mudassir Farooq will be going through his exam for level 3. Level 3 is a very basic exam in my view. It's a pretty standard that we'll be going through. Um, Let me open this examination topic. Okay. So the topic is ISO 27001 and 27017 integration for cloud security in manufacturing on AWS and IBM Cloud. The topic is pretty straightforward. The topic is pretty straightforward, Mudassir. The scope of the exam is not in depth. It's not like very deep. It's going to be at a very high level. The topic explores some of the key learning objectives, ISO 27001, 27017 for cloud security, and 18 is for the privacy. We are not covering the 18 part. The AWS KMS, AWS Shield, IBM Cloud Security Advisor to ensure data confidentiality and availability. In my view, this is a big project in a company, but in my view, for the scope of the exam, it has a very limited scope, right? That we'll be going through. You don't have to worry about it. It's not going to be a tough exam. Sorry, this is my daughter. She just put something over here. Presentation, you have to design a cloud security framework for manufacturing based on ISO IC 27017 and the 27001, the main framework. You have to explain how integrating these standards ensure security and data protection in a manufacturing industry, right? Are you ready for the exam?
Yes, I'm ready. Can I
Okay,
share
your
my
voice-
screen?
Yes, you can share your voice is coming out very clean, clear, no problems. You may share your screen, please.
Is my screen visible?
It's loading on my side. Just give me. Yes, now it is. Okay.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone.
Just
My
wait.
name-
Just wait. Should we start? I'm going to start the timer then. Ready?
Ready.
Okay, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Please proceed. 10:38.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. My name is Muhammad Mudassir Farooq, and today I will be presenting on the topic of integrating ISO 27001 and 27017 for cloud security in manufacturing on AWS and IBM Cloud. So what is the topic about? The topic is about integrating two very important security standard, ISO 27001, which is for creating and managing the overall ISMS, and 27017, which provides cloud-specific security controls. The goal is to apply these standards to protect cloud-based operations in the manufacturing industry, especially when using platforms like AWS and IBM Cloud. So what is ISO 27001? ISO 27001 is an international standard that defines how to build and maintain an ISMS. It is designed to help the organizations protect their information, whether it is stored digitally on the paper or in the cloud. So it focuses on protecting confidentiality, integrity, and availability of information. Confidentiality means that keeping the data private. Integrity means that data cannot be changed, and availability of information means that the data should be available when needed. So the first key principle of ISO 27001 is that it requires the organization to identify their potential risks, assesses how serious they are, and take steps to eliminate or reduce those risks. And the second key principle is the continuous improvement of security measure. Security is not a one-time thing. ISO 27001 encourages the organization to continuously improve their security measures to make sure organizations are always improving and reviewing their security measures to tackle new threats. So what is ISO 27017? So it is an international standard for cloud security that is built on the basis of 27001. And it helps us to manage resources in the cloud, like managing identities, protecting data, and providing access to the resources. One of the key principles of ISO 27017 is the shared responsibility model, and it also provides specific control for cloud services like data encryption to protect data and access management to control who can do what inside the cloud system. So why we should integrate ISO 27001 and 27017? Like, what is that benefit? The first benefit is that together both the standard provides us full-fledged approach to information security. Uh, Organizations can secure each and every layer of their operations from internal computer networks to cloud services. The second benefit is that using both the standards ensures that organization is aligned with internationally recognized security best practices, which is important for companies operating globally, handling sensitive customer data. The third one is that in manufacturing, data protection is critical. Whether it's design files, supply chain information, or customer data, this integration ensures that confidentiality, integrity, and availability are maintained throughout the entire workflow. Here are some key challenges of the integration. The first challenge is the complexity of integrating these two standards. Integrating these two standards, ISO 27001 and 27017, is complex. It requires a very deeper understanding of both the standards. The second challenge is ensuring continuous compliance. Cloud environments changes rapidly, and it is very important to do regular audits and update our policies so that we can make sure that all our cloud configurations are aligned with the standard. So why cloud security is critical in manufacturing? The first reason that it is critical in manufacturing is the protection of sensitive data. It involves a lot of sensitive data like product blueprints, machine data, supplier contracts, and sensitive customer data. If this data falls into the wrong hands, it can lead to financial loss or reputational damage. So cloud security helps us to protect this sensitive data through encryption, access control, and monitoring. The second reason is the operation continuity. Second, manufacturing is all about keeping the system running smoothly. Any downtime can delay the production and disrupt supply chain. Cloud security ensures that we have strong protection in place so that the system always stay online, or if in case anything bad happen, we can recover it quickly without major disruptions. The third reason is compliance with the regulations. There are also a lot of rules and laws about protecting data, especially if the company operates globally. Cloud security helps us in meeting those legal requirements. Now here are some tools that AWS provide us for cloud security. The first one is KMS, which is used to create and manage encryption keys, and the second one is AWS Shield, which is a managed DDoS protection service from AWS, and it protects the applications running on AWS from DDoS attacks. Here are some cloud security tools that IBM provides us. The first one is Cloud Security Advisor. It monitors our cloud environments for threats and vulnerabilities and gives us insight and alerts. It is like a watchtower that keeps eye on everything and gives insight if something looks risky or out of place. The second one is IBM Key Protect. It is just like AWS KMS. It is used to manage our encryption keys so our sensitive data stay encrypted and secure. Only those with the right key can access it. The third one is IBM IM, which is used to see who can do what, to manage who can do what inside the cloud environment. So now here are some tools for automation. The first one is Cloud Custodian, which helps us to automate security and compliance policies. For example, if we have rule like don't allow open storage buckets, Cloud Custodian can automatically find and fix any buckets that breaks the rule without needing someone to automatically check it manually every time. The third one is OPA, which is a policy enforcement tool, and it is used to and it is used to enforce security rules like who is allowed to access what resources and what configurations are allowed. Now here is a step-by-step approach to designing the framework. First of all, we have to conduct risk assessment to find out what threat exists, what could go wrong, and what could go wrong, such as system downtime, data breaches, and unauthorized access. Then after that, we implement controls from ISO 27001 and 27017. Then we use built-in tools from AWS and IBM like KNS for encryption and IAM for access control and Shield for DDoS protection. Then finally, we automate compliance with tools like Cloud Custodian and OPA. so we know that whether we are staying compliant without checking regularly. Now here is the main framework aligned with CIA trait, confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Some tools that are aligned with the CIA trait. So for confidentiality, we have to use AWS KMS and IBM Key Protect. For availability, we have to use AWS Shield and IBM CIS. And for integrity, we have to use CloudTrail and IBM Cloud Audit Logs. And for threat detection, we have to use Guard Duty and IBM Cloud Security Advisor. So here are some key takeaways from our our topic. The first one is that integrating ISO 27001 and 27017 is essential for cloud security in manufacturing. Using both of these standards gives us a solid structure. Second key takeaway is AWS and IBM Cloud offers powerful security tools like KMS, Shield, Key Protect, and Security Advisor to help apply these standards effectively in secure environment. Third is that automation is a game changer with tools like Cloud Custodian and OPA. We can automate compliance and security tasks, saving time and reducing human error. Now, if you have any questions, you can ask.
Okay, good. Let me save these results. Okay, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Again, this is a level 3 exam. It's not that tough. It's in my view, but I will see how this goes. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. What is the primary objective of integrating 27001 and 27017 in a cloud environment? I mean, why are we doing this?
The primary objective of implementing 27001 is to create an overall ISMS, and 27017 is to secure our service cloud services. So basically 27017 is built on the basis of 27001. With integrating both the standards, we can ensure that our organization is that all the operations of organizations are secured from internal computer networks to cloud services. This integration can secure each and every layer.
Okay. Name 2 cloud service providers that are referenced here in your presentation, and their relevance to manufacturing industry security.
We have used the AWS and IBM Cloud.
Why are they important for this specific line of industry?
Because they provide some very important tools like AWS Shield, IBM CIS, Guard Duty, Cloud Audit Logs, CloudTrail.
Okay.
That is what.
These platforms that you mentioned, AWS and IBM Cloud, they're primarily used to implement cloud security framework by utilizing their native cloud tools, right? Like, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
You have to improve the question, the delivery of the answer with a better response. Okay, I know this is a level 3, but when you're going for the interview, you have to present them something better, right? Okay, this is good, mashallah. It's good. Define to me the shared responsibility model in the 27017.
So shared responsibility model states that security is not the responsibility of just one side. It states that security is responsibility of both the side, and it defines the security responsibility of the customer, like managing resources in the cloud environment, and the cloud provider, physical security.
Okay. In the case study presented that you have, what tools were used to automate compliance and why automation is critical in this context? I mean, why are we using automation?
We have used Cloud Custodian because it saves our time, and we don't need each and every time, we don't need we don't need to check out all the cloud configuration daily.
So
For
it's,
example,
you have to say automation ensures real-time policy enforcement.
so for example, if we have a rule that all the S3 bucket should, we have a rule that all the S3 buckets should be encrypted, cloud custodian can automatically check it and fix it if someone breaks that rule.
But that's it, the answer is right? But you have to say cloud custodian, and there's another thing that you've used, open policy agent, right? OPA. These are the two things that you have mentioned in your case study, and then you have to say automation ensures real-time policy enforcement, real-time GRC, governance, risk, and compliance insights, and reporting, reducing the minimal, reducing or minimizing the discovery of errors, right? Reducing manual errors, efforts in maintaining compliances becomes easier, so on and so forth. That's how you have to provide the answer, okay? Explain to me how ISO 27017 enhances the implementation of access control in a cloud environment. Why? I mean, why organization use 27017 to implement, access controls?
It provides specific clauses for related to encryption and access management. That is why specific controls.
Well, it says it provides guidance on configuring cloud-specific access controls such as role-based access control, identity access management, user permissions, right?
VM security.
All the implementation of the enforcement of the policies on the firewall and data loss prevention. There's a lot of things to ensure data access. The answer was not the best, the last one. Apart from that, you were scoring full marks. Okay? But still, this was your first stumble. Detail the steps you will take, which is something you've mentioned in your presentation. And this is very important because when you go in an organization, you have to do these steps, right? Detail the steps in designing a cloud security framework as mentioned in the presentation. How would you do that? You've mentioned
First
that.
of all,
How would you do
First
that?
of all, we have to do the risk assessment to find out what threat exists, how serious they are. Then after that, we have to implement controls from ISO 27001 and 27017 like VM security, secure deletion of customer data, access control. And after that, we have to use some tools like cloud custodian and OPA to automate the compliance. And in between, we have to, I forget that, we have to use built-in cloud tools like KMS, CloudTrail, IBM CIS. That's the fourth step.
Okay. What is your last qualification? Intermediate?
Yeah, I am intermediate. After that, I joined BBA, but I got dropped out due to some reasons.
What is
Not
DB?
of BBA,
BBA,
Bachelor's
okay.
in Business Administration
Which university?
from Namal University, Islamabad.
Namal is the one that was created by Imran Khan, right?
No, it was created by Pervez Musharraf, National University of Modern Languages.
Modern languages. Why do they call it modern languages? Do they teach like is it like
Yeah,
did they copy the School of African and Oriental Studies, the SOAS as they call it in UK? Like, do they teach languages?
they teaches languages like Arabic, all the language, Farsi, English, Pashto, everything.
But what's the point of learning these languages?
They don't-
It's, it's ajib, like, languages are becoming irrelevant because of artificial intelligence. So my wife, she's a doctor. So she sees Japanese patients, Chinese, all kinds of nationalities, right? Here in Canada. So when a patient comes and they are struggling in English, so she opens a translator. It's a Dragon translator that they use. And its name is Heidi. Heidi is one of the things that they use, right? Heidi, HAIDI, doctors. I have to see, right? AI medical scribe, right? For Canadian clinicians, right? So what it does is it listens to the patient. So the patient will talk in the mic. The mic is built into the system, right? So the patient is talking. The patient, whatever they're seeing in Japanese or English or whatever language they're using, it is recording the voice of the patient while the patient is describing itself, what I'm going through, what issues I have, my problems, my pains, and everything. And it is writing it down, right? And once it's done, then this is the one, medical scribe, Heidi Health, right?
Yeah.
So she uses this. This is artificial intelligence for doctors, right? So it's a scribe. It captures everything, right? And the Canadian government has made this, you know, basically free for all the doctors, right? Because they are pushing it out, the artificial intelligence. So the whole thing becomes so easy for the doctors to talk, right? It makes the life easier. So the languages are irrelevant.
Yeah.
So the person is talking in Japanese or in Chinese, Mandarin or Cantonese or whatever languages, right? And it can speak 150 languages. Amazing, right? Guyanese, and there's so many different like with the West Indies people, they speak English in a very different accent. So it is able to understand. So my wife is looking at the screen, looking at the patient, she understands everything. Based on that, she basically tells the plan what the patient needs to do. If the patient can't understand English, then the plan is already translated into the other language and given to the patient. He can read it, he or she, and they can understand. So languages are becoming irrelevant. And this is real time. There are no notes to be done because the doctors have to do a lot of notes, right? So I'm pleased that you didn't spend 4 years doing your BBA. Yeah, a few days ago, there was a person who came from Qatar, from Doha, right? And he paid 120,000, I don't know, 150,000 uh, like Qatari reals, right? That's a huge sum. What is the fee of Namal? I mean, for the BBA.
Now they've increased the fees per semester. It's more than 1 lakh,
Wow.
almost 1 lakh. It is.
So you spend almost like 100,000. So altogether 800,000 plus you add all the expenses, it's a million rupees.
No, I have got dropped out. I have spent only 1 year in
No,
BBA.
I'm just saying if you spend that time,
Yeah.
800,000 is the fee, like
Yes.
in Pakistan, you call it 8 lakhs, right? For 8 semesters, per semester 100,000. So that's 8 lakhs, 800,000. And then on top of it, you add all the cost of, going
Expenses.
back and forth, expenses and
Yeah.
everything. We throw in like, I don't know,
10 lakh.
uh, every year, every going back and forth to the university, you may incur 20,000 rupees per month, something, going, coming back, eating something. So we are talking about 120,000, 150,000 per year, just the expense of going back and forth. So we are talking about 8 plus 6, 3 and 3, right? So that's like a solid 1.3 million rupees. The time spent and everything. What do you get? That's what I would like to know.
We get the degree,
Yeah, yeah, you get the degree.
just a piece of paper, but it is important here in Pakistan.
It's ajib, right? Okay, so what regulatory challenges may arise when manufacturing firms fail to integrate cloud security standards like ISO 27017? I mean, what can happen?
So if the company is operating globally, it is important for the company to align with those standards to operate globally. They will have to pay the cost if they don't implement those standards in certain countries.
No. I mean, I understand the cost part, but what major things can happen, which is very common?
Data leakage,
Yes, data
their
breach, data leakage.
data breach.
Because of this, they will face non-compliance issues, and
Yeah.
because of non-compliance, if the data gets breached or leaked, then all, the gloves are off and then the regulators come after you and then they do all kinds of stuff, in terms of imposing penalties and everything. Okay. Describe how a cloud custodian policy, okay, could be crafted to detect and remediate misconfigured storage in AWS. This is very
So
important, right?
Cloud Custodian is an open source automation tools through which we configure compliance policies in YAML files. What Cloud Custodian do is Cloud Custodian runs those YAML files on a regular basis, evaluates our infrastructure against those files and take action. So we have to basically configure some rules according to that in the Cloud Custodian YAML files.
Okay.
That's it.
From a storage perspective, what could happen? You didn't mention the storage part. I mean, cloud custodian will do what? To detect misconfigured storage in AWS. What would it happen then?
It will, first of all, we have to implement the rules in the YAML files related to storage, like we want the storage to be encrypted or we want immutable storage like that. So Cloud Custodian can automatically check if something is happening against those rules and fix that.
Yeah, I mean, so from a perspective of S3 bucket, what could happen?
So if Cloud Custodian, we have implemented that all the S3 bucket, we have implemented, I did that in the presentation,
That's what I'm asking.
that don't allow open storage S3 buckets. So Cloud Custodian can automatically check it and fix those if
Yes.
anyone is
So
breaking
it can
that rule.
automatically scan for S3 buckets with public access and enforce
Yeah.
private only settings, right? This is very important.
Yeah.
Okay, good. MashaAllah. In a hybrid deployment, involving AWS and IBM Cloud, how would you architect a unified identity access management strategy that satisfied both the ISO 27001 and 27017?
Can you repeat it?
So it's a hybrid.
question.
The cloud exists on AWS and IBM, right? How would you architect a unified identity access management IAM strategy that satisfies 27017, the main framework, and the 27001, the main framework, and 27017, the subsequent framework for cloud? So how would you do that?
So if
In
our
short, if I
application
have to drop down the question very simplified, how would you implement a unified identity access management strategy on a hybrid cloud? One answer. It's a very simple answer. One answer.
we have to implement fault tolerance or
No. Where do you live?
multi-region
Islamabad.
deployments.
No. Where do you live?
I live in Islamabad.
Islamabad is called what in Pakistan?
The
It's the-
capital.
Yeah, there is the word which starts with F. So there are
It's
two kinds
capital.
of there are two kinds of government in Pakistan. There is provincial government and then there is.
Federal government.
So, okay, so you got the word federal, right? So in the context of IAM, what do you call it? Federal?
That-
Develop a centralized identity federation,
Federation.
federated identity access management. Okay? That's a good question, right? This is what you have to do.
Well,
So using SAML, OIDC, some of the other access, controls clouds, because both of them are different. To enforce role-based access policies across the cloud. That's what you have to do. Okay. Let's look at the presentation. Let's throw in a tough question, right? So if you have to evaluate the effectiveness of an OPA, Open Policy Agent, enforcement, in ensuring end-to-end compliance in a CI/CD pipeline, right? Handling manufacturing source code. How would you address failure conditions within that CI/CD pipeline for the cloud? This is a level 6 question. I want to throw it out. See, if you're not able to answer, I won't negate you. If you are able to answer, I will give you the points. I just wanted to touch and see if you can go up.
So Open Policy Agent is a policy enforcement tool that evaluates our action against rules written in the Rego language. We have to configure some rules in those files. And
okay, no, you're not there yet. Okay, let's take a step back. Okay, yesterday the person was able to answer 3 of my level 6 questions. The guy was coming for level 4, right? But he was DevOps. This is the value of DevOps. You need to learn, like when you go somewhere, if I show you the job is for machine learning engineer, but they're asking machine learning engineer should know DevOps, SysOps, AI, cybersecurity. And one is scratching his head like, this is a machine learning engineer job, right? At Apple, IBM, this is what they're asking for. Someone asked me, why do I have to study in AI ops, cybersecurity, GRC, DevOps, SysOps, all the other things? I just want to do AI. I said, there is no such thing as AI. You need to learn all the things because when you go there, what are you working on in all the other areas, right? Implementing AI. So if you don't know this, you can't do anything, right? Someone asked me, why do I have to study TOGAF, IT architecture, right? Why? I said, when you go into an organization, you will see that the architecture is documented as per Sherwood model or TOGAF model or some of the other IT architecture principles. So you need to know these things. This is what we're providing in Al Razak Part 2, right? Similarly, when you are level 3, but you need to upgrade yourself to, at that level that you are able to learn all of those other things as well, inshallah, okay?
inshallah.
It's very important because when you go, all the infrastructure is managed by whom? SysOps. All the applications are managed by whom? DevOps. Everything resides where? In the cloud, right? So when you go as a cloud administrator, you need to know DevOps, SysOps both. Otherwise, you won't be able to work with these guys, right? Okay, let's take a question at your level 3, right? Okay. What are the failure points if encryption key management is centralized under a single tool like AWS KMS in a multi-cloud environment? What ISO control is violated and how it can be remediated? It's a very simple answer. Yesterday, a person said something. I hope that when you guys go for the interview, you watch the other interviews, what happens there, right?
Inshallah.
So what's the answer? Single point of failure. How do you remediate that?
We have to implement failover logic for that. So if AWS KMS fails, the application.
Listen, all the keys reside in AWS KMS. In a multi-cloud environment, you have AWS, you have Azure, you have IBM, you have GCP, Alibaba, Huawei. There's so many other, right? OVH, etc., etc. All the keys reside in AWS KMS in a multi-cloud environment. First of all, is that a good idea to have a centralized key management under a single tool?
That is not a good idea. We have to use both. So if AWS KMS fails, the application can be shifted to the IBM.
I mean, this single point of failure is known as what? What do you call it?
I forget that. I learned that one.
Okay, let me give you like when you put a lock on something, what do you call it? Lock. Okay, the last word I've given you.
Locked.
Vendor lock-in. This is
Vendor lock-in. Yeah.
Right? So inconsistent key lifecycle policies. This violates the ISO control. There's a control in ISO for key management, which comes in section 10, the cryptographic controls, right? So implement multi-cloud KMS integration or third-party HSM solutions under a unified lifecycle policies and auditing. This is very important. If you put all the keys in one basket, that basket is gone, all the keys are gone. Okay, that was the question. We were able to answer parts of it. Exam is done. Okay. Okay, Bismillah. How was the exam?
It was tough at the last. There were 2 to 3 questions that were tough. Apart from that, it was not that tough.
Level 3. Sometimes I try to, remain within the bounds of the exam. I see if the person is doing very well, then I go in deeper, right? Depending on how good the student is. I mean, if they struggle, then I say, okay, that's fine. 9, 10, 21. Oh, okay, that's strange. Okay. Okay, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So let me give you your results. Okay, hold on. So in the presentation, you scored 80%, 21 out of 25. Okay. There were some missing elements, but it was good. In the Q&A, you scored 20 out of 25, which is 80%. So 21 divided by 25, it's 80%. 20 divided by 25 is 80%. Oh, it's just doing. Okay. So roughly you are reaching out to be, so 21 plus 20 divided by, altogether you scored 80%. Okay.
Okay.
That is your final score. It's very good, mashallah. This is classified as merit, mashallah. This is very good. Now, here's my recommendation for you, right? How old are you?
I am 23, right?
You should have done your bachelor's and everything, right? Why was there a gap in education?
So after my intermediate, I was unable to continue my studies. Then I joined BBA, but I got dropped out due to some reason, not because of GPA. GPA was normal. After that, I joined Al Nafi. That
Okay. So this is my recommendation. Are you working somewhere or not?
no, I got a job, but was unable to join. So due to
You got
some,
a job, but you were not able to join. What does that mean?
the office was very far for me.
So
Like
where do you live in Islamabad?
I live in Islamabad, and the office was very far for me, almost 1 hour of travel going and 1 hour back. It was,
Okay, so and you didn't have any transportation, so you said okay.
yeah.
And what was the
I
job
just
title?
got a call from the HR at the start of the presentation. I said him, I will call you back for wipe engineer.
Oh, okay, okay.
The previous job was of knock engineer.
Knock engineer.
Yeah.
So when you joined here, you started looking for work, or what was happening?
When I joined here, I just joined after seeing your live.
Seeing my what? Like, hold on, let me open your resume. So all of your teaching and thing has been here, right? Why do you
Yeah.
have to mention in your resume, Bachelor of Business Administration dropped out? You don't have to. You don't have to, right? First of all. Secondly, when did you started learning here?
I started in July of in June or July of 2024.
In June and July of, so It has almost been 1 year. So during this time, when you were doing the courses and everything, were you able to find a job?
Yeah, I was able to find a job, but I was unable to join that. I also find a internship as a Linux system administrator, but I too was unable to join that because it was night shift, very far for me.
Oh, so you have to do something, brother. Like you can't
Yeah,
just say, this is too far, this is too. People are looking for jobs and you are just
yeah,
seeing the interview and then you say, you know what, this is too far. I don't want to go. Right? So you have to
inshallah,
uh,
this
you
time.
you have to organize yourself. Okay, so this is my recommendation for you. This is you have done level 3, which is intermediate, right? 12th grade. So it can only take you so far, right? Are you doing Al Razak?
No, I was doing it before the cloud came
Okay.
on my local
The
system. I
cloud,
did
it makes
some
things
starter
way easier,
labs.
right? Yeah, the cloud makes things
Yeah,
very, very easier. So if I have to show you, the cloud makes your job so easier. I mean, I have a different account, so I can see all the labs, right? So if someone is doing AI ops or artificial intelligence operations and whatnot, right? This is Al Razak part one. This is Al Razak part two. Part one are the labs. The labs are based on what? On the courses. Part two is where you learn all the other things, right? So if you go there, if you open it, you will see open source labs, uh, all the other labs. And if I have to show you basically all different kinds of labs and structures and whatnot, right? There's a huge list of things that you need to understand and do and follow, right? So let me show that to you. So these are all the labs, right? So in Al Razak, you get different domains. Al Razak part one. Even in level 3, you get some of the domains. You get cloud computing, yes. You get Linux, yes, but not all, but 100 labs. You get Python programming, yes. There's a Python programming labs coming up, right? They will be released in September. In July, containerization and Docker. You can't get it because this is outside the scope of level 3, right? You get only DevOps get these labs, right? Then cyber of offensive defensive, yes, you will get some labs, around 200 something. But the further you go, the more you get, right? DevSecOps, it's not GRC, yes, you will get some means 100, 200 something, right? Big data analytics, and the list goes on, right? Obviously, you won't get this, you won't get robotic process automation. This is all related to AI and stuff like that. Monitoring observability, yes, you will get it. KYC based labs based on your program, right? So you have to go in and do these labs. These labs are very important.
inshallah.
Even if you do these labs, Podman, containers, specialization, whatnot, this will help you significantly. Like if I show you administration 2 labs, you can see it becomes very easy to do the labs, right? You watch the course, you jump on the labs. Advanced bash history and search. The lab is there, you go in and you start doing the labs, right? And the labs are already explained to you. Start the lab, continue the lab, you will get a message. This will prepare you what is about to come, right? This will prepare you
Inshallah.
for interviews as well. This will prepare you for all the things. And we are putting, advanced bash scripting guide. There's a guide as well. If you click on it, you'll be able to see the guide. So we're giving you lots and lots of stuff for you to practice on, right? But obviously, you have to go in and you have to start, right? And you need to make sure that you complete the labs. The labs will give you more confidence and more, I would say, projects that you can list on the GitHub, right, of yours. And this way you can prepare yourself better. What is your goal? Do you want to stay in Pakistan or do you want to go outside of Pakistan?
No, my goal is to go outside of Pakistan.
Yes, so if you want to go outside, the best pathway is to complete AI ops.
Inshallah.
Then go outside. And then go outside for a master's program, right? AI ops can take you and get admission in a master's program. The level 3 you did only gives you the intermediate qualification that you already have. It doesn't take you further, right? So you have to understand all the key aspects, right? And this will take you further and deeper, faster in terms of what you want to do, right? So my suggestion to you would be go and study further, but at the same time, complete the labs and start applying for job, right? Like for example, you can see, the labs makes things way easier. There is no installation, there is nothing. I started the lab in 1 minute, it loads up, connect now, it will connect, it will load here, right? And the lab is now there. I expand the screen, I set this up, whatever I need to do. If I need help, Al-Bari is there to help me. Okay, I can say which lab is this. It will tell me the lab number. You are working on advanced bash history and search lab. This lab is given to you, right? This is part of the bash, Linux deep dive, right? How to do all of those things. What to do first, where to do, you have a terminal emulator, it's already there. You already are in there. Close this. You can see, expand this so that you can see what you're doing, right? There are so many labs. We have millions of labs, but obviously for your scope, it's limited. There are so many other things, right? So you start doing the lab functions and everything, and this takes you further. It prepares you to be able to go in deeper into the lab territory. It prepares you to give you experience of what you really need to know, right? This is very important for you. So, right, all I did was, this is very important, all I did was, I went there and I followed the instruction of the lab and I said, okay, the first instruction talks about very important stuff. It talks about, verify bash version. So I just type in bash hyphen version. It is telling me the bash version. You see? The next step is clear your current history for a clean practice environment. History -C. Right? If I type in history, it will show me my history. All the commands I've been running. Right? If I say history -C, it will just clear it up. Now, if I type in history, there's nothing. You see? So you're learning. This is learning by doing. Then you can say, type and execute a few random commands to populate history, like echo, hello world, ls-l, data, who am I, all of these things. This gives you information of what to do and how to do. Do you understand? इससे ज़्यादा तो मैं नहीं समझा सकता. ये बहुत important है. You have to go in and do the labs. Okay? Inshallah. Complete the labs, because जो तुम काम करोगे, whatever work you do, this is all here. All here. There are labs I've developed for electronic warfare. What is electronic warfare? अगर कोई तुम्हारे पर जहाज आते हैं, उनको स्क्रैम्बल कैसे करना है?
You develop it.
Yes. अगर तुम वहां बैठे हुए हो, पाकिस्तान में बैठे हुए हो, इंडिया अटैक कर देता है, ठीक है ना? उनकी सैटेलाइट को जैम कैसे करना है? If you have a device, you can jam the satellite, right? You don't need sophisticated devices. बहुत सारी चीजें हो जाती हैं. ड्रोन्स बना के तुम कैसे भिजवा सकते हो? फ्लाइट सिमुलेशन के लिए भी हमने एक लैब मैंने बनाई है, जिसमें फाइटर प्लेन जा रहा है एंड लाइडार एंड मुख्तलिफ चीज़ों के ज़रिए इट इज़ कलेक्टिंग द डेटा पॉइंट्स एंड इट इज़ ट्राइंग टू सी कि प्रिडिक्ट कर रहा है कि एनिमी कहाँ से आ सकता है. दिस इज़ द डिफेंस. ये एक अलग प्लेटफॉर्म है. दिस इज़ नोन एज अल-कवी, वन ऑफ द नेम्स ऑफ अल्लाह, अल-कवी, राइट? दिस इज़ फॉर basically offensive and defensive capabilities for government organizations. Okay, so there are so many things, but everything starts here. Everything starts from AI ops. You build up your foundation and then you go there. That's what you have to do. So start karo, start learning, start upbringing yourself, and then go there, inshallah. Okay, there are millions of labs. In your case, in DCCS, you might get 2,000-3,000. That's enough for you. But as you move forward, you will get more and more and more and more. If you go in specialization, that's different. AI ops plus SCADA or AI ops plus quantum computing or AI ops plus two specializations. Yeah? There's so many things going on, right? So I'm giving you ideas of where you have to start your learning journey. It should never
Inshallah.
stop. You should keep on moving forward. ठीक है ना? तो सर तरक्की करते चले जाओगे, ठीक है? 80% is good, mashallah. May Allah give you more success.
Ameen.
Ask your parents to make special dua for me. اللهم إني أسألك شهادتين في المسجد النبوي صلى الله عليه وسلم.
Ameen.
I think I'm getting close to that, inshallah. Okay.
Inshallah.
So make dua, special dua, inshallah. Do you have any questions for me?
Yeah, I have a question. Al Nafi gives, can I ask in Urdu or English?
उर्दू में बात कर सकते हो, it's okay.
अच्छा, तो जो हमें 1 ईयर का एक्सपीरियंस लेटर मिलता है अल नाफे से, तो वो इंटरव्यूअर को हम क्या कहेंगे, क्या क्या किया? एक तो सीधे
सारे
से वो
प्रोजेक्ट्स अब हम किसी को नहीं देंगे जब तक वो अल रज़ाक जो है ना नहीं करेगा। अब किसी को नहीं मिलेगा। अल रज़ाक के ऊपर जब तुम काम करोगे, तुम्हारे सारे स्टेप्स रिकॉर्ड होते हैं पीछे। तो एआई तुम्हारा पोर्टफोलियो बनाएगा कि मोहम्मद मुदस्सिर ने ये सारी चीजें कंप्लीट कर ली। बेस्ड ऑन दैट तुम्हारा रेज्यूमे बनेगा। वो जो अलबारी है, अलबारी वो तुम्हारी सब चीजों के ऊपर काम करेगा। सो इट्स नॉट मी, वी आर नॉट गोइंग टू गिव इट टू एनीवन until they complete Al Razak labs. Part 1 Al Razak labs are related to courses. Part 2 Al Razak labs are related to your job requirements. Both are different. Part 1 एग्जाम के लिए जरूरी हैं, जो कि आगे अगस्त सितंबर से मैंडेटरी हो जाएंगे सबके लिए। पार्ट 1। पार्ट 2 वो एजुकॉल के डिप्लोमा के लिए जरूरी होंगी। पार्ट 2 इज फॉर योर जॉब। यू विल ओनली गेट द रेज्यूमे इफ यू कंप्लीट पार्ट 2। ठीक है? सो तुम्हारे पास टाइम है, तुम जुलाई अगस्त में, तुम कब जब भी पिछले साल आए थे, वट एवर, राइट? अगर तुम्हारी मेंबरशिप एक्टिव है, यू कैन गो एंड डू इट। सो मेरा मशवरा है कि अभी अपने आप को अच्छी तरह मजबूत करो। तुमने ये लैब्स कर ली, ये सिर्फ अगर तुमने रेड हैट की 1 and 2 लैब्स कर ली और तुमने ये सब कुछ कर लिया, यू आर मोर देन केपेबल। आई मीन इमेजिन के रेड हैट की जो क्वालिफिकेशन है, जो ये है, ठीक है ना, यू गो हेयर एंड यू डू ओपन सोर्स लिनक्स पॉडमैन एंड कंटेनर्स एंड देन दिस बहुत ज़्यादा है, ठीक है ना? तुम्हारे पास क्लाउड एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन आ जाएगा। जाहिर सी बात है, इसके अंदर बहुत ज़्यादा है। ये जो स्किल डोमेन्स है ना, 5, 7, 8, ये दीज आर द स्किल डोमेन्स, ये स्किल डोमेन्स हैं। लिनक्स ओपन सोर्स में तुम्हें उसमें सिर्फ ये मिला है, ये सारी ओपन सोर्स के अंदर है। यू सी कितनी सारी हैं, ठीक है ना? ये सारी ओपन सोर्स में है। अगर मैं काउंट करूँ, इफ आई हैव टू डू द काउंट, ठीक है ना, और मल्टीपल सब चीज़ों को हटा दूँ, सो द काउंट इज 72। सो अगर मैं मल्टीपल चीज़ें हटा दूँ, 50 certifications of Red Hat Linux are covered in AI Ops. We don't cover the certification per se. We cover the hands-on tasks that you have to perform, जो तुम्हें करना है employer के पास. That's what we cover. ठीक है ना? अगर तुम्हें एग्जाम पास करना है, तुम जाके उसका दे सकते हो, but there is no need, right? There is no need, क्योंकि तुम्हें काम आता है। हम अपनी qualifications भी लेकर आ रहे हैं। You will see in the next 6 months a Nafi certified Linux administrator, ठीक है ना, अल्नाफे सर्टिफाइड क्यूबरनेटीज, ठीक है ना, हम उसको एस्ट्रोनॉट नहीं कहेंगे। सो क्यूबी मुजाहिद, समथिंग लाइक दैट। द नेमिंग कन्वेंशन hasn't been finalized yet, right? So they are working on all of the things. So once it's done, you will see. So what I'm telling you is what you have to do, inshallah. Okay?
Inshallah. Thanks.
Allah Ta'ala तुम्हारे लिए आसानी फरमाए। Okay, जज़ाकल्लाह खैर। Inshallah, I will see you next time. Subhanakallahumma bihamdika,
Inshallah.
ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi